on Everyday Theology. I realized we got to start doing the intro because it just like starts, and so we're gonna move on to our next topic, but we got to go ahead and do the thing again.
Welcome to Everyday Theology, an ecumenical space for students to discuss matters of faith and theology.
I'm your host, Connor Grubbs.
I am your co-host, Ryan Mock.
And I'm your co-host, Johnny Grubbs.
And I'm Mac.
All right, today we are going to talk about the Grammys. Lots of things happened at the Grammys, and this is old news. Nobody cares anymore.
Late.
We're late.
We are late to the party.
We are late to the party, but you know what? Whatever. So there's a couple things that happen at the Grammys that people are discussing, and I think we might actually do these as two separate videos. We'll start with...
And probably none of it's the actual Grammys nor the music.
So, no. So Maverick City Music, which is a worship group, was at the Grammys. They won a Grammy. They sang at the Grammys.
Really?
And so...
I didn't know this.
I don't have the video of the performance. I do have the video of Brandon Lake's speech that he gave. And so there's a little bit of controversy because they did a performance with a secular rap artist.
Ooh. Evil.
Which, Lecrae's done a lot in the past, and people have, had their opinions about that. Now, the difference is Lecrae's always been pretty strict about the content of what that person's rapping. This was like a tribute to a rapper who'd passed away, and basically he was like talking about all the memories he has, like smoking weed with him and all this different stuff. And then at the end, Maverick City came out and sang the Fast and Furious song. It's been a long day. They did that whole so it was kind of nice, Just imagine that, but like with a whole choir,
Oh, that's cool.
So anyway, And then I think they also did one of their songs, but people were mad about that they participated in that one because of the references to substances and whatnot.
And Fast and Furious.
Right. So
that's a true crime.
Right.
So before I even move forward, do you guys have any thoughts about that specifically that you'd like to throw in there? Like not just a Christian artist collaborating with a secular artist, but like with content that is questionable.
No, I do not.
It's tough to say. I mean, like, they didn't. I don't know. I mean, like you could ask that question for the whole thing. Like, even them being there at the Grammys.
Yeah. Well, some people were mad about that.
Right. Exactly.
Here's the thing, though. It wasn't a church service.
Yeah. It wasn't a church service, and they weren't singing the content, right?
They weren't singing about smoking weed
with their friend, right? So this dude's speaking to his experience in the rap, like his real life experience, for better or worse. And Maverick City comes in, and that's the real crime, that they come in and sing this song
from Fast and Furious.
From Fast and Furious.
But even that line, like, it's been a long day without you, my friend. I'll tell you about it when I see you again. It's just the idea, like, we're going to see each other again.
Right.
So, which is, as believers, we do believe that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like
an idea.
So we should sing it. We could sing it in church then. Yeah. Is that what you're saying?
No.
I always knew that Fast and Furious was a Christian franchise.
Yes.
You might even say it's appropriate, though, right?
Yeah.
This dude who has this life experience is singing about his life experience, and then they come in and sing about how we'll all be together again.
Yeah. I mean, I think you got to be careful, but I don't see anything wrong with this particular instance of it. We are going to now look at Brandon Lake's speech that he gave at the Grammys, but the TV just shut off, so I'm going to have to do some...
It's been on this whole
things.
time. And it's been a long time without you, my friend. And I'll tell you what about it when I see you again.
I hope we're still recording.
It's been a... Confuse everybody. What's going on, Con?
It's the pentatonics version.
We're Walmart pentatonics.
Off the rails.
Well, isn't that our
Johnny,
other...
you said you heard what he said, so go ahead. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he was... No, because he was talking about how... Well, first of all, I thought it was interesting that towards the end there, even though it was skipping, he gave glory to Jesus Christ. And, I mean, not that that's surprising.
Well, it wasn't even giving glory. He said that perfect love cast out fear, and the perfect love is Jesus.
Yes.
That was nice.
That's nice.
That's
good. Yeah.
I thought.
And he talked about how in a world that's riddled with fear right now, because I could tell that the song that they won the Grammy for was "Fear Is Not My Future," which is a good song. And I think it's a very poignant. Is that how you say that word? message for this time that we're living in, and it's cool that it made it to the Grammys. That Christian message. Well, or that message. I mean, I think everybody wants to overcome fear these days, but like that, it came from a Christian perspective in a secular place. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say that I think anytime you drop an ounce of Christianity into a secular place, I only think that there can be like positive things that come from it. Like you think of like if there's a Christian that makes a movie, but it's not a Christian movie, but it has Christian themes, or a song that has Christian themes, but it's not I don't want to say disguised, but it's in the midst of other secular works, because I think Christian art and entertainment, and I think you would probably agree with this, should be on par with all the other art and entertainment. It shouldn't be Christian art or music. It should just be art and music, and it has a Christian overtone to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So let's talk about what they were up against. We're going to move on to the Satanic Panic at the Grammys.
The 65th Grammy Awards is sponsored by Pfizer.
Okay, so yeah, absolutely comical, the timing of that. Like, it feels like a sketch, because there's so many theories there about the vaccine and how it's the mark of the beast and all this stuff. So for them to do that performance and then Pfizer to pop up, it's just like, oh, perfect.
Fuel for the fire.
That's not even a subliminal message.
That's just a message.
That's just a point blank message.
Yeah. One of the articles that came out from like a far right news source that was kind of humorous was Pfizer sponsors satanic ritual at the Grammys. Okay, so that's a twisting of what happened, because the timing of it was ironic that it came after that performance, but they sponsored the entire Grammys, which included Brandon Lake talking about how Jesus cast out all fear,
and Satan worship.
So and the Satan worship.
You gotta have it all.
So really, it cancels. They cancel each other out.
Right.
So it's really just a neutral Grammys.
Well, and here's the other thing I want to say.
Yeah.
Some people were saying like, "Oh, we actually witnessed like a legitimate satanic ritual." I think we just witnessed someone being stupid. Sam Smith doesn't believe in Satan. He's said this. It was a publicity stunt. It was to get attention. It was to be provocative, just like the song is.
It
He
worked.
wanted the performance to be provocative too, and it garnered attention. There are even people who aren't Christians who are like, that was a little much. And So he's not claiming to be a Satanist, and the Church of Satan actually released a statement about this. They were like, they're basically like, that performance wasn't in any way affiliated with us, and to be honest, it wasn't even that good. that was their official statement on
Dissed
it.
by the Church of Satan.
So Sam Smith couldn't even make them happy. But we got to be careful, because like I know people assume that like there's all this stuff about the Illuminati in Hollywood and pop stars being like Satan. And I'm not saying that that's not happening, that there aren't powerful people who like worship Satan and believe in really wacky, crazy things. Certainly there is, but like it's the Satanic Panic. It's like, oh, this is, our country's going downhill because he just did a satanic ritual on TV, and it's like, he's just doing a provocative like song and trying to shock value. Like it's wrong. It's still wrong. It's still dumb.
Yeah,
but we got to recognize what it really is.
Connor, listen. You're a sheeple.
Go back to your herd. I do think if there are actual legitimate like spooky kabuki satanic rituals, I'm pretty sure they're not going to be doing them live on air at the Grammys.
that is all,
By Sam Smith. Also, I don't know what song he was singing. I don't really listen to Sam Smith, but like, what was the song about?
The title of the song
Satan
is
or something?
Unholy. It's about
okay.
Daddy's doing something unholy. It's a sexual song.
Oh, okay.
It's
because the performance, the main problem I took to it was just very sexual.
Yeah, and that's why like there's a woman that he wrote this song with and recorded the song with, who's also at the performance, and she's like in a cage surrounded by demons, and it's like very, very sexual is the whole point of it. And so another thing from that side, because of sexual freedom, of we should be allowed to do whatever we want, it's really the point of that performance and them doing the song the way they did it is, you know what, if we have to burn in hell because we're sexually free, so be it. It's a big middle finger to like religious stuccos. That's the point. It's not because they're
Right.
Satanists. It's because they're like, well, yeah, if I'm going to go to hell, so what? That's a horrible attitude to have.
Right.
Yeah, that kinda sucks.
You know what was on display? It was arrogance. That's what it was.
Yeah.
You know?
right.
It was sinfulness.
Which
It was
is
worldliness.
arrogance and pride is a true satanic,
Yeah. Yeah.
right.
value.
That's the true like philosophy. There.
And I think I just think of like the look at for the speck in your own eye, you know, for the log in your own eye before trying to get the speck out of your brother's. Like we have I think Christians sometimes have a tendency to like get so caught up in things that are happening like this, like it's the end of the world. When in reality, we need to be making sure that we're not being prideful, that we're not being arrogant, that we're not,
Right.
you know, just ignoring, you know, what God wants for us to do whatever the heck we want. You know, like we need to worry about ourselves. Like there's plenty. You know what's like, I could get on a rant here, but like you know what's satanic is like the sexual abuse that has gone on in the church for, you know, the past several decades. You know what's satanic is when, you know, pastors and spiritual authorities and leadership are having affairs and embezzling money and like and this is why when we get freaked out about things that the world is doing, of course they're going to act like the world. That's who they are. If you don't believe in God, if you don't have a moral compass, why wouldn't you live like that? Why wouldn't you do whatever performance you want to do? And when we're so worried about that but not addressing the problems within Christianity, nobody wants to take what we have to say seriously. And so that's my charge, is like, let's worry about ourselves first.
And going back to the whole argument, well, you know, Maverick City shouldn't even be in the same room as that, right? I think it's interesting that their song was about fear and all that kind of stuff. Perfect love, casting out fear, right? Because that's what that is. It's all fear-based, right? You know, like they're missing what God is doing in this place through Maverick City and through this song because they're focused on the scary part, you know, or the bad part, right? And so that means that we as Christians, if that's what our takeaway, our focus is in the wrong place. Our focus is on the satanic, what we perceive to be satanic in there, over what the light that was there. You know, that's pretty telling too of the state of many hearts today.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the Sam Smith, it's bad, but we just like when we freak out about stuff like that, it's a waste of time.
Yes.
right.
So, hey, comment, tell me that I'm a sheeple, that we're liberal freaks.
And that the earth is flat.
And that the earth is flat. No, but I really appreciate some of y'all have shared very personal stories and what some of the topics we've talked about mean to you and like how it ties into your stories. I love hearing stuff like that. So please comment, like, share, subscribe, and peace be with you.